with touchdown number. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Cat and zero out now. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Again, a run with Thompson. And he lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Zach Ertz, the man in motion. They'll toss it to Ajayi. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up
really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Wentz to throw on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. How about that for a little jolt right before intermission?
We talk about taking momentum into the half with you, and so many teams have an emphasis on trying to score in the last 2 minutes of a half to carry that with them. It's not often talked about scoring on defense, though. That's extra mode.
And now they may take the lead into the locker room as well. So they'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in at the 1. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. From midfield, here's Wentz. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
It's hard to play in the NFL now as a running back and not catch the football as well. Jay Ajayi shows what you can do when you have both of those skills.
Good in space, isn't he?
He really is, able to catch the ball, and he helps create blocks downfield. A lot of times that's what people miss. It's not just making other guys miss you. It's setting up guys to block those guys downfield with the moves you make, and Jay Ajayi does that very well.
To throw is Wentz. Being chased out left, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his second touchdown on the season, and the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, It's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out now come the Redskins. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The tight end changing his position. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Cousins trying to get his guys up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to find some space to turn upfield, but this defense having none of it. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On first down, Wentz. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jonathan Allen coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Now it's Ajayi, and he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole, 3rd and long.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Looking left side, and it's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
The veteran Brent Selleck, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Wentz. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
So 2nd and goal here from the 9. They run with Ajayi. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense at that. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Jayon Brown in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Crowder in motion here right. They go play action. Cousins. Airing one out for Crowder. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Redskins have tied it here. The extra point to come can put them in the driver's seat. And that one... The kickoff unit is out. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
He was trying to get it to Jay Ajayi there out of the backfield, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Once again here on 2nd and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Throwing on first is Wentz. Going right side here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Wentz going to give this one to Blunt. A little juke. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
I would say that's what you call a whole lot for a little, huh?
When you bust that move out of the bag, you hope for more than 4 yards, but hey, 4 is what he got. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now they'll run it on the toss. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Crowder in motion here right. On third down, it's Thompson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So a pressure kick here for Dan Carpenter from the left hash. This from 53 yards out. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much...
Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for second down. And the big tight end shifting around. Now up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So the offense has it, 6-yard line, 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Chris Thompson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Blunt, and 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Dancing to his left. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. A swing pass caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
And at this stage in the game, every play is magnified here as we get down to the nitty-gritty. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On the ground, it's Thompson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Cousins. Open man is Stewart. It's complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Here's Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Eagles on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 7. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And Catanzero's kick is right through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. 34 yards there and a first down.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or 2 deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front, and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Yeah, making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there.
We could talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Well, I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control. And yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
Elsewhere in the NFL, they're the 4th down in New Orleans. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They run it here with Thompson. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Little motion now from the tight end. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Room to run inside the 40. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards. The tight end changing his position. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. The backup, Rob Kelly, his first carry. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win 1 every now and then.
All right, so they're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now it'll be up to their defense to try and see this one out.
So remember now, a field goal on this next drive would get us to sudden death. Any kind of turnover or turnover on downs would end the game, as would any touchdown. So this one's still very much up in the air.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. A field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Now a carry for Blunt. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. So a little chunk there on first as they try to chip away down 3 in overtime.
I like your description. Chip away, down 3. You don't have to get it all in one big play, although obviously that would be nice. But there's no need to have that type of risk associated with it. Run your offense, get first downs, get yourself in a position where you know you're going to at least get 3 and keep this game going. If you get 6, so much the better.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now blown. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. What can Wentz do now with his drive? Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matt Ioannidis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, the defense was in prevent. They still get there.
That means that there's absolutely nowhere to throw the football. No one came open because now you're really getting 3 guys rushing the quarterback. 5 guys should be able to block them, but sometimes time just takes it up and end up getting to him.
The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. And here's your ball game. Down 3 in overtime, but they're going for this thing on 4th down. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Jonathan Allen in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Philly.
Look up. So many. Oh my God. So many. I done made sacrifices. So many sacrifices. Straight up. I done gave up so much free time, knowing time ain't free.